and come back in, bring your other clothes with you, come back in, and each of you are going to tell us where you're going to apply for a job. Bill, it's absolutely amazing when they put on the different clothes, how they change. They tell us where they're going, and so on and so forth, and then we do some mock interviews with them afterwards. They're entirely different kids than the ones that were wearing the clothes that they came in.
And how about table manners? Isn't that the next?
The next one, we do a sit-down, semi-formal setting, and I teach everyone how to use which fork, which spoon, where to lean in because the waiter's going to serve from the left, so move over from the right. And then we cap the whole thing off with the last class, which is held actually at Jill's restaurant, Jill's Place on Santa Barbara Street. She's been marvelous at helping us out. And we do a dinner there, and everyone comes together dressed as though they're going to a job interview. We have a, quote, short reception where everyone has conversation with each other. Then we sit down and we have dinner conversation and eat this meal and have it all served properly. It's wonderful. The experience is amazing.
So how about the students themselves that you're taking through this class, this process? What have you heard from them anecdotally?
Well, actually, we have a questionnaire that we ask them to all fill out. It's sort of a survey and not put their name on it and just turn it in upside down. So I'm not going to know who it is. And so I say, please make it as honest as possible because it's going to help us make the classes better. And I have to say, the kids really, really enjoy it. The ratings, if you will, come back really, really powerful. And the best of all is I hear from these kids many weeks later, or months later even, asking a tip about this or a tip about that.
So sum this part up. I'm sure parents are saying, right on, John, but you are bucking the popular culture. Why is etiquette and manners so very important in today's world?
Well, I think especially in today's world, trying to get a job is very, very difficult. And it's kind of back to good old Gypsy Rose Lee when she said, you got to have a gimmick. And what if you go in and your gimmick is just being the most polite person that has walked in and the best dressed and the person that can act the finest and show interest in the job, you have so much better of a chance of getting the job.
So with everything you're doing in the community, what's the best part of the work you do for you personally?
The best part is watching the kids come in the first class with sort of a, oh, what am I doing here kind of an attitude. And by the end of the dinner, 75% of them hug me goodbye.
And the flip side of that, before we go to break, what's the most challenging part?
I think the most challenging part is explaining why this is so important. In the very beginning, the first class especially, why is this important? Because many of these kids have never seen or done any of these lessons. So it's difficult for them to understand.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, I'll continue the conversation with John Daly, and we'll talk about leadership. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Cirone, and I'm here with my guest, John Daly, president of the Key Club. John, let's talk about leadership for a moment. You know, it's been said that some leaders are born and others are made. Is leadership for you intuitive, or is it something you've had to work on?
No, it's really been intuitive for me. I was the second oldest in a family of 5, and I was sort of the leader of the pack.
And what leadership qualities do you feel that you have that have really served you well through the years? A
couple of things, Bill. I find the smartest thing I can do is surround myself with people that are smarter than I am. And I do that. And I also have found the best thing to do is delegate. And I delegate well.
And you know, you've always been very successful, but in talking to leaders, I've discovered that success means different things to different people.
Yes.
How do you define success, and what standard do you hold yourself to?
I define success of being able to look at myself in the mirror every morning and shave and say, you're a good man. You're doing what you should be doing.
And are there events or experiences in your background that you feel have prepared you for the work you're doing now?
I think actually, yes. I've been fortunate enough to, through my childhood, to be on top of the world and in the ghetto, both, and then fight to go back up to the top. And I think it's been wonderful for me, actually.
And that question actually, in many ways, answers this follow-up question, which perhaps you could elaborate on the answer. And that's that, you know, so many leaders like yourself have told us that they've been successful because they've had to deal with and learn from adversity.
Absolutely, positively. I think that actually it would have been cheaper for me to go to college and have a college education than all of the hard knocks I've learned by being just the high school graduate. And that's another reason I'm sort of proud of that I've been able to get through those diversities, and I've been quote unquote self-taught.
So what motivates you now when you get up every morning to work so hard and give so much?
Once again, I think we summed it up in that last class when 75% of the kids hugged me goodbye. And I see that I've made a difference. And I see some of the kids that I've seen for many, many years, 10, 15 years, and they're on the streets and they're doing well, and it's always, hello, Mr. Daly, and it's kind of a nice thing.
And when you wake up in the morning, what worries you?
What worries me? My goodness. I think probably the only thing that worries me is that I might not accomplish everything I'd like to get done that day.
And what makes you optimistic?
Thank goodness I've been born with a half-full glass. I just figure, you know, you have your adversities, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you just start all over again and go for it.
And with that attitude, you've said that you think down the road the recession may actually prove to be a good thing.
Oh,
Explain that.
I positively think it will be. As much as it has been hurtful, I think it is bringing people back down to the core of what I believe life is about, and that's family and friends helping each other, and not to sound like an old hippie here, but I really think that love is an awful lot to do with the answer there.
So what are your future plans and or goals for the Key class?
I am hoping to take the Key class now to business schools, to colleges, to law schools, and continue also. I would really like to be able to have this as a required course for all high school seniors. That would be a great goal for me.
And as we begin to wind down, if you could send a brief message to young people today, what would it be?
Work hard. Present yourself well. Work hard. Have a good attitude and smile.
And how about a message to their parents?
I think that just family time that is together, sitting around a table and listening is a very, very important thing.
And if you could send a message to the community at large, what would it be?
think of the youth. It's all about the youth.
And how about elected officials?
Think of the youth. It's all about the youth. And stop cutting education budgets as that's being cut. I think that's the worst place in the world things can be cut.
And you work very hard, you're very intense. What do you do to find balance? What do you do to relax?
I am an avid reader. I'm also an avid gardener. And my wife and I spend an awful lot of time in the garden together. And I find that extremely relaxing.
And as a person who's mentored young people today, so many young people, make a pitch to the community at large in terms of getting involved with kids and mentoring, and what are the rewards?
Oh, I think that the rewards are just phenomenal to be able to give of yourself, and the rewards really are more when you're a mentor. The rewards to you are far more than they are to even the mentee.
Well said. Perfect note to end on. Thank you so much, John. Your caring, your passion, your skill, your commitment to responsibilities you take on truly make a difference. And we thank you for your leadership and your good work with young people and with the community at large. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And thanks too to Cox 8 for all that you do for the community and our youth. You too make a difference. I'm Bill Cirone signing off for Cox 8 special programming on local leaders.